What is up, you guys? Heary276 here, and welcome to today's video. Yeah, as you can see, my ELO is around the same. Towards the end of the Halloween Cup, I started slipping a little bit, but this team brought me back up. We are running Poliwrath with Mudshot, Scald, and Dynamic Punch, Gengar with Shadow Claw, Shadow Punch, and Focus Blast, and Snorlax with Lick, Body Slam, and Superpower. So, anyways, we pick up a very positive lead up against this Alolan Marowak. We get the attack debuff with the Scald, and they have an Alolan Muck safe switch, which tells me that their third Pokemon is probably pretty weak to this Alolan Muck. And this is a Snarl Alolan Muck. This is still a great matchup for Poliwrath. So I'm going to let this move go, and it's an Acid Spray. Beautiful. It wasn't Sludge Wave at all. I called the bait, and now I'm going to hit with this Dynamic Punch. That does big damage. It is CMP, which is really nice. So I'm going to shield this Dark Pulse right here because my defense is lowered, and I know that their third Pokemon is probably going to be weak to Poliwrath. So I am willing to commit 2 shields on this Poliwrath. My defense does get lowered a bit, and their third Pokemon is a Cloyster, which explains why they came in with the Alolan Muck. It was probably their best matchup against the Poliwrath. So this team was triple weak to Poliwrath in the back. Like for the entire team, that is. So yeah, that Dynamic Punch almost KOs. We're just going to come in with Snorlax since we know that Alolan Marowak is still in the back. Snorlax walls that thing pretty hard, so this is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. You know, it's just that Poliwrath is just that one Pokemon that just walled their entire team, which is really nice. Anyways, we're moving on to the second battle, Poliwrath versus Graveler. Alright, this is fair. We actually can win in the 2-shield right here. It's not as bad as you think it is. So watch. We're going to go for this Dynamic Punch. I'll explain why in a minute. So they shield the Dynamic Punch, pretty obvious. We hit CMP, so I have to shield this if I want to preserve the switch advantage. Alright, so we get there to that Dynamic Punch. You see, now we're at 2. To get to the third Dynamic Punch, it's only going to take 5 Mud Shots. So we will be able to get to the Dynamic Punch before they can farm us down, which is really nice. PvPIV is definitely coming in handy. Boom! And this is like a rank 1196 Poliwrath. So you don't really need the best of IVs to be able to win that matchup. So now we're both shieldless right now, I think. No, I still have 1 shield, never mind. So we are going to double up on the Shadow Punches. As you can see, we no-shield the Poison Fang because Gengar doubly resists it. So there's really no point in shielding it. We go for the back-to-back Shadow Punches to take out this Golbat. And I'm really surprised that it didn't like build up to that Shadow Ball. And in the back is a Hypno. So this is just great. Yeah. Snorlax is just going to wall this thing. Body Slam is going to, you know, come out pretty fast right here. And the licks are just chunking away. Like, those are non-stab licks that are just absolutely chunking away at Hypno's health. So, yeah, there we go. That's a good game right there as well. Very well played to my opponent. Now, do note that these are all wins here. I actually did get a video of a loss, but it got corrupted, so just know this team is not perfect, though you will be seeing all wins here today. So yeah, we pick up a horrible lead up against an Electrode. We're going to safe swap into our Snorlax, and hopefully we can bait out something else. They go for Discharge, it's not going to do too much damage, and we bait out a Lapras. This is still fine for me right here. I'm going to shield to preserve some health on the Snorlax. Tried to see if I can get up to those double superpowers. And I do. And I fast remove Synchronize so that way they can't sneak in a free Ice Shard. First superpower gets the shield. Let's go for the second. See what this is going to do. Okay, so they decide to double shield the Lapras. I'm very curious as to why they did that, knowing that I had Poliwrath in the back. But that's quite okay. They decide to throw right here, so I'm going to let the Snorlax go down and trust in my Poliwrath. And we are up a shield, so keep that in mind. This is pretty quick to be a Skull Bash, so it's just a Surf. I'm totally okay letting that go through. That's resisted damage. And now watch, I am going to overfarm a lot and get up to 2 moves, so that way I have 2 moves to throw, one of which can be at the Electrode that comes in. Now, because they're shieldless, this Dynamic Punch is going to be doing big damage. Yeah, look at that. And I decide to transfer the Volt Switch onto the Gengar and Shadow Claw all the way down. And in the back is an Alolan Marowak, so this is game right here. Gengar and Poliwrath both have very strong matchups against Alolan Marowak. In fact, I think my entire team does. So, yeah, this is game. Gengar's just going to go to town right here. Double Shadow Punch, and yeah, that'll do it. Good game. Now, as you guys may see, this video is a little bit longer than usual. I really hope you guys enjoy some of the bonus battles that we featured. That's right, there's more than one, so definitely enjoy. And let's just hop right into the next game. So we've got Poliwrath into Charm Alolan Ninetales, as you can see from the lead reader. Takes me a minute to realize that they're actually running Charm, so I take 2 Charms worth of damage on a fighter. So that's not great. They swap in a Gyarados to fight my Gengar. And watch, because they didn't shield, all I have to do is just shield once, and I'll be able to Shadow Claw all the way down. That's amazing. So, Gengar really putting in some work. Let's see what decides to come in. They actually throw in an Alolan Raichu. I'm not expecting this. So I'm going to throw the back-to-back Shadow Punches. And I think they're going to shield both of these, if my memory recalls correctly. They do. So now they're entirely shieldless. Now, my switch timer is still down, so I'm going to wait the full 10 seconds and then throw in the Snorlax to lick down. And those licks are starting to absolutely decimate this Alolan Raichu. So squishy. They throw a Psychic, and they get the Defense Fall, so I have to swap out to clear it. I don't want my Snorlax getting charmed down. So I'm going to sacrifice the Poliwrath right here. I call it, and it's a Weather Ball. Should have figured because it's Charm and they only threw like 6 of them anyways. But the Dynamic Punch is going to land, and that's going to do big damage. Now immediately I'm going to throw the Body Slam onto the Alolan Ninetales, and this is going to be taking it out. And then from here, I figured since Alolan Raichu is so squishy, I can just lick it down before they even get to a move. And I do just that. So that's a good game to my opponent. Very well played. Let's jump into the next one. Alright, you guys. Video's going along pretty well. We do have one pretty big weakness on this team, and that is Pidgeot. You will see that in one of these battles. So, we have Poliwrath into Lapras. This is a great lead for us, obviously. We'll be resisting everything except the Skull Bash, and we'll be able to threaten with Dynamic Punches to deliver some pretty big, super effective damage. They let it go, and I'm going to no-shield this move, and it's a Skull Bash, but that's quite okay. We can live it. And I'm going to throw the Dynamic Punch before they get to their Surf right here, and this should take out the Lapras, and they choose not to shield it. And I make a big mistake. I get to the Scald, but I over-tap, so that's going to cost me. So I'm going to throw in the Gengar, and Gengar can safely tank 1 Poison Fang before the defense starts to lower a little bit. And they actually throw in a Charizard right here. And I'm going to throw the Shadow Punch onto this Charizard, and they are going to shield it. Now I'm going to bring in Snorlax, because Snorlax actually is a fairly positive matchup against the Charizard. I'm going to shield once, and they bait me with the Dragon Claw, so that's not ideal. I'm going to try to build up to the 2 Body Slams and throw them back to back. Charizard is pretty squishy in the Great League, so they let that one go. There's some mutual lag, and I'm gonna call it. It's a Blast Burn. Ouch, that hurts. So they baited me, and then they landed the Blast Burn. But at this point, I do have my Gengar to fend for this Nidoqueen, and I do get a Shadow Claw of energy from that Charizard. The Nidoqueen decides not to shield the Shadow Punch, and this is a huge mistake, because that Shadow Claw going through is actually going to KO this Nidoqueen. They have to go to the Hail Mary and Earth Power me, but I shield it. So that is going to be a good game to my opponent. Very well played. And they die with 1 shield. Always goes to show you, if you have the shield, you might as well use it on your last Pokemon. Alright, so Poliwrath into Haunter. So this is actually okay for me because I can threaten with the Scald, and these mud shots are doing super effective damage. And we get to the Scald fairly quickly here. They are going to shield the Scald, and I think I'm going to shield myself. Yeah, I do shield, and it is a Shadow Punch, but that's quite okay. And I think I'm going to let this one go through. Yeah, Shadow Punch isn't going to do too much damage. I can tank one. So I'm going to go for the Scald again, and they let it go. So very interesting decision from my opponent. They come in with an Electrode, and I'm relieved that my Poliwrath doesn't have to face it. I can come in with Snorlax, so winning switch there was really nice. Electrode's going to throw a move, and it's just a foul play. I don't know why they didn't go Discharge there. It's clearly the better move, and it does more damage thanks to Stab. The Electrode no shields the Body Slam, and I think I'm going to let this one go too, knowing that it's just a foul play. Yeah, that's just going to come through and do very mediocre damage. Now, I'm going to lick down and transfer the next Volt Switch on my Gengar, and in the back is a Beedrill, guys. Oh, no. So, yeah. I don't think that opponent was going to win. We had a Body Slam on the Snorlax. We had a Gengar that they had to defeat. There was no way. Poliwrath into Blastoise. Alright, so this is actually fairly positive. We resist everything from this Blastoise, and Dynamic Punch is going to do a ton of neutral damage should they let it go through. Yeah. Blastoise, though, is pretty beefy, and Hydro Cannon hits fairly hard, so not as great of a matchup as you might think, but it's still pretty positive. It's one of the better matchups that you can have. Anyways, we get to a second Dynamic Punch, and this is either going to take out the Poliwrath or they can just shield it. They're going to let me have Switch. Okay. And they have a Pidgeot. I'm thinking, oh no. But I get to the Scald, and I'm really fishing for the attack debuff. But they shield the Scald, so I'm perfectly okay with this. And now, I'm going to come in Gengar. I'm going to try to build up to that Focus Blast and surprise them. I don't really have a great response for Pidgeot. As you can see, like, the Snorlax has Lick as a quick move. I'm actually going to bank the Focus Blast on the Gengar and come in with Snorlax to do any damage soaking. I ended up shielding 2 Brave Birds, which is really nice. So that's going to give me a ton of room to be able to go ahead and throw these Body Slams. And they're actually going to do damage because they're not going for Feather Dance. If they did go for Feather Dance, that would be a huge problem, and this team would be highly ineffective, and this Pidgeot would basically wall my entire team. But because they went straight Brave Bird, they actually did themselves a disservice and lowered their defenses. I think they were hoping I wouldn't shield and think it was just a Feather Dance. Oh my god, guys. Watch. Just watch. Boom! We Focus Blasted the Nidoqueen. Now, you might be thinking, why didn't we just Shadow Punch? Well, you guys gotta remember, the Focus Blast Gengar is just an absolute legend. And yeah, spoiler alert, in this video, you will see another thing get Focus Blasted. So this is gonna be fun. Poliwrath up against the Beedrill. This is our last battle, by the way. Yeah, we're gonna go for Scald because Dynamic Punch is double resisted. Let's see what this is gonna do. It gets shielded. That's fine by me. We sneak into Mud Shot. I'm not worried about anything here. It is a Drill Run, though, which definitely hurts. And they snipe with the Hypno, so that's going to hurt a little bit. But we do have Snorlax, which is a half-decent response. We don't throw in Gengar because it does have a Sub-Poison typing. It would be taking super effective from the Confusions. Now, is this Hypno running Focus Blast? No, it's not. It's running Ice Punch. So we're going to no-shield it, of course. Confusions aren't doing too much, where Licks are doing a lot. And again, I'm going to no-shield the Snorlax. Just let the Ice Punch come through, chip me away a little bit, and I'll just commit all the way to the Lick Down. Very nice. Beedrill's going to come in, and we're going to blind throw a superpower. Probably not the smartest decision, but that's okay. It gives them less farm, so I'll take it. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god, guys. You ready? We're going to shield, and it's a drill run, so that's a very good shield on my part. You guys ready? They have it a lull on Marowak in the back. That's fine by me. I'm just going to throw the Shadow Punch and then look to Shadow Claw all the way down. You guys, you don't know the level of epicness that this finale is going to be. I hope you enjoyed these battles. Enjoy the epicness.